All right, so today we're diving into the world of Naiwen Yang.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we've got a really interesting mix of stuff here. Looks like a bio that covers her whole career, and then the lyrics to Missed Call, which is one of her most popular songs.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Mandapop meets Taiwanese rock with like a little dash of something totally unique.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe her sound. There's definitely something special there, even if you don't know Mandapop very well. I think you'll be pretty amazed by what you find out about her.
Yeah, I'm looking at this bio right now, and the first thing that jumps out at me is that she starts her musical journey at the Sydney Opera House, like with classical training, and then goes back to Taiwan and just explodes onto the scene with this rock album.
Yeah, it's a fascinating contrast, isn't it?
What do you think that says about her as an artist?
I think it shows that she's not afraid to break boundaries, and you see that throughout her career. But that classical music background is really important. It's foundational. She's not just a singer. She's a musician. Through and through the bio says she plays piano pipa, which is a traditional Chinese instrument, and even drums.
Like, hold on, pipa and drums on top of piano.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not just talent, that's serious dedication.
Definitely. And later on, she even produces her own album. So she's someone who wants to be involved in every part of her art, shaping the sound from the beginning.
Okay, so clearly she's got the talent, but she also had the success right from the start. Her first album sold like 100,000 copies, and that was with hardly any promotion.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It's gonna make people in the industry notice.
It definitely did, but it was the Golden Bellady Award for Silence, her second album, that really made her a star.
Oh.
And for anyone who might not know, those awards are basically the Grammys of the Chinese music world. So it's not just about popularity, it's about getting recognition from other musicians and critics.
Wow, that's huge. And Silence had some big names on it too, like Lin Che Chang, Chen Yu, Sandy Chan.
Yeah, that's a pretty diverse group of artists.
Do you think that mix of styles helped make the album so successful?
I think it definitely played a role. Each of them brought something unique, and that creative energy probably helped the album have a bigger impact. But we can get caught up in all the awards and collaborations.
Yeah, it's easy to just focus on like the outline of her career.
Exactly.
But what about like the emotions behind the music?
Yeah.
The heart and soul?
Right, that's where the lyrics for Missed Call come in. They give us a little peek into Naiwen Yang's emotional world.
All right, let's get into those lyrics then. I'm already hooked by the first few lines. Wind blows away the promises written on paper like an extravagant dream. It just hits you with this feeling of loss and fragility.
Yeah, those opening lines really set the tone right away. You immediately feel like a love is slipping away, promises are being broken, and the word extravagant is interesting there.
Yeah, why do you think she used that word?
Well, maybe it reflects how intense the relationship was, or maybe there's a touch of bitterness, like the dream was too big to ever come true.
Ooh, that's a good point. I didn't think about the bitterness angle.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if she's thinking about her own life too, leaving Australia, going back to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Maybe going through similar heartbreaks.
Yeah, that's the power of art, isn't it? It can speak to you on different levels.
Absolutely.
And speaking of things that resonate, there's another line that really struck me. The red sky before me is like the weather of farewell. It's so vivid, but it's also open to interpretation.
It is, you're right. Is it a real sunset, or is it a metaphor for the relationship ending?
I think it could be both.
Or maybe even, like you said before about the extravagant dream, maybe it's about a dream dying like the sun setting on a whole chapter of her life.
Exactly, and that's part of what makes it so powerful. It lets the listener bring their own experiences into the song.
And then there's this phrase that keeps coming back, don't say anymore. It feels almost like she's begging someone, or maybe even herself.
Yeah, I agree. It's like she's trying to push away all the thoughts that are hurting her, all the memories that keep coming back. She wants to move on, but she's having a hard time letting go.
Yeah, it's like she's fighting with the silence itself.
Yeah.
And that makes you think about the title of her album, Silence.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if there's a connection there.
That's a really interesting thought. It wouldn't be surprising if some of those feelings from Missed Call were there when she was making Silence. It's often when we're quiet and thinking that we really face our deepest emotions.
Makes me want to listen to that album again with like new ears.
Yeah.
And hear if those themes of heartbreak and resilience are in her other songs. But the bio also mentions a time after Silence when she does something totally different. She stars in a musical called Lucky Guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Seems like she was always looking for new ways to be creative.
Definitely jumping from recording to being on stage, doing a whole different kind of performance that shows how versatile she is as an artist.
I could just imagine her bringing all that musical skill we talked about to the stage. The piano, the pipa, Must have been amazing for her. And then after the musical, she signs with a new label and puts out the Duchess, which is a really interesting album. The bio says she produced it herself for the first time and worked with Wu Qingfeng from Soda Green on the title track.
That's a big step.
It is.
Nice.
Especially since Wu Qingfeng and Soda Green are known for this really unique sound, like a mix of pop and rock, almost theatrical in a way. So again, we see Naiwen Yang pushing those creative boundaries, not afraid to try new things.
Yeah, she's definitely not afraid to experiment.
It's a pattern throughout her career, isn't it? From classical music to Taiwanese rock to working with all these different artists. And then there's the album of English covers.
Oh, yeah.
Reimagining songs by Coldplay Radiohead. That's bold.
It is really fascinating. On the one hand, it shows how incredible her voice is and how she can adapt to any genre, but I also think it shows that she wanted to reach a bigger audience. You know, maybe introduce her sound to people who haven't heard Mandopop before.
That makes sense. It's like she's connecting cultures through music.
Exactly, and it makes you wonder what other music influenced her. What did she listen to when she was growing up? Those are things you might want to explore as you dive deeper into her music.
I love that it's like a musical treasure hunt, finding those threads of inspiration throughout her work. So we've got this image of Naiwen Yang as a musician, super talented, always growing, not afraid to push boundaries, but what about the person behind the music? What's she like?
Well, the bio says she has a straightforward personality, and she's known for being genuine, and you can definitely feel that in her music, can't you? There's this rawness, this vulnerability that feels really authentic.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said before, you can tell she's not afraid to go to those deeper places emotionally.
And that's what makes her so relatable. Even if we haven't lived her exact life, we can connect with the feelings she expresses, you know, those universal themes of love and loss and longing. Everyone understands those.
It's like she's inviting us into her world, sharing a part of herself through every song.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty inspired right now. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot about Naiwen Yang.
But I feel like there's still so much more to discover.
Oh, definitely. With an artist like her, there's always something new to find. But I think we've got a good foundation now.
Yeah, we've gone through her musical journey from classical to Taiwanese rock, her willingness to experiment and collaborate, and the raw emotion she puts in her lyrics.
And her dedication.
Right.
We can't forget about the piano, the drums. She's a true multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, for sure. But there's one thing we haven't really talked about that ties it all together.
What's that?
Her voice.
Ah, yes, of course.
We've talked about lyrics and instruments, but it's her voice that brings it all to life.
Exactly. It's that special quality that gives you chills or makes you want to sing along.
Totally.
Yeah.
So as you listen to Naiwen Yang, pay attention to her voice. How does it change to express the different moods and emotions in her songs?
Yeah, how does it pull you in and make you feel connected to the music?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm going to be listening with a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
Now I'm already adding her whole discography to my playlist. This deep dive has been awesome. Thanks for walking me through it.
You're welcome. It's always more fun to share the joy of discovering something new. And for everyone listening out there, remember, this is just the start of your exploration of Naiwen Yang. There's a whole world of music waiting for you, so go out there and enjoy the journey.